Good evening. It is Monday, October the 6th. I'm your host, Smitty, the Wind Dummy, bringing you our 34th episode of the Players Meeting. Hope you're hearing me just fine. That's kind of weird being here with nobody. Ronnie bowls on Mondays, and the flip flop between Oz Tour or Oz Talk and the Players Meeting eliminated him because he couldn't miss bowling. So most of you are probably watching the Chiefs game. Don't know. Don't really care too much about that. All I know is we got a fun show lined up. We're going to have hopefully, if things work out, we're going to have the TD of the October FRizz, a long-running historical Kansas disc golf event, Mr. Russ Burns. You might be more familiar with Russ's baskets than you are Russ if you've played at Hayesville or Park City or Clearwater or the Tick Ranch. Those are the four courses in our area that feature monkey traps, baskets that Russ bends, welds, manufactures, all in his garage on his own. I'm sure we'll talk with Russ a little bit about that. That's going to be fun. And then after we chit chat with Russ a little bit, we're going to bring in the founder of the October FRizz, one of my favorite human beings, Harvey Life Force Barger. And you know that dude's going to tell us some stories, probably the PG version tonight. I'm not sure what we'll get into with Harv, but that'll be awesome. I want to kind of rack their brains on how the transition went from Harv to Russ and where they see this event going in the future. So it's going to be a fun show once we get those guys on. But before we get there, I need to go ahead and pay a few bills. We're called Oz Talk for a reason, because I need to talk about the Oz Tour. What is going on with the Oz Tour? Russ is in the chat or in the wind tunnel. He can hear me. I'll bring him in a little bit and we'll see what's going on. This is going to be fun. So Russ, give me a thumbs up down there if you can hear me. I gotcha. All right. So the Oz Tour is closing down. We are really down to the nitty gritty. We have 7 event dates left for 2025, and Kevin has worked his magic, and all Oz Tour points are updated as of Saturday, it looks like, October the 4th. Please take a minute if you're interested in the points race and see if your points look correct. If there's any discrepancies, please reach out to Kevin Neufeld via Facebook Messenger so he can get that fixed, updated, and make sure that you're getting into the finals. The Ace Fund, we're down to $279 thanks to Anson Long, I believe, was the last person that drained a portion of it down there at the Keeper of the Chains here in Wichita. So we still have $279 left. You get half of that if you're a KDJ member. You're in the Ace Fund, and you complete a hole in one throw in tournament play. Let's take a look at the end of the season events we have coming up. This weekend we have both Cessna Championships here in Wichita at the newly remodeled Cessna Disc Golf Course. We have the Concordia Crush, another fantastic fun event to play. The following weekend we're traveling down to Ellsworth for Darren Bottom's Throw for the Soul. I haven't played the golf course version of this event, but we're going to go back-to-back golf courses with Throw for the Soul and Great Life. And then the Sunday after Great Life, we're going to have 1880 doubles, which will allow everybody to earn 10 KDJ points, and the Peabody Open the same day. November the 1st, we're going to head out to Herman Hill for the classic end-of-the-year event, the Wichita Roundup, sponsored by the Air Capital Disc Golf Club. And then the following week, we all head to Salina to play the brand new Sling at the Slope Disc Golf Course out on Markley Road, and give that a whirl with one last chance to qualify there for the KDGA Finals. Let's take a look and see what's at stake here as the season closes out. Obviously, you can still qualify for the finals in each division. The overall winner gets their image on a disc and swag if they so choose to next year. We have points winners for each division, trophies for the top finishers in in all divisions, a fun banquet on November the 8th in Salina, Kansas, and finally the skins match there at Thomas Park. A little bit about the end of the year, the banquet. Tradition we kind of started last year is we moved to the District Eat and Play Center in Salina, which is on the back side of the mall in the old Sears building. Tons of video games, pool, bumper cars, go-karts, you name it. We go there and we just party like rock stars and have fun. It'll start about an hour and a half after the event. Any KDJ member, regardless of whether you've qualified for the finals or not, are welcome and encouraged to come. It's just a great time to hang out and meet people and just have an absolute blast. The cost for KDJ members is free. It includes supper and a non-alcoholic drink of your choice. They have plenty of alcoholic drinks on hand there as well. Get as many of them as you want. Just be careful on your way home. And if you happen to bring a guest, that'll be on your dime or their dime. So please bring them, though. It's a blast. So what's on tap for the banquet? Obviously fun. We're going to laugh and yell and scream and just have a blast. Recap of what happened in 2025. We'll announce all of the division's top finishers and bring them up and give them an award. The overall champ will get to take home the Kastner Cup for a year, and then we'll look forward a little bit to 2026. How do you qualify for these finals? Well, first of all, you can go to the KDJ website and look at the points, and they're all color-coded just like these colors here. If you're in the top third, your name will be red. You're automatically into the finals. If you're the top pro or AM in your region, the blue people, you'll get a trip into the finals. Notice neither of those spots are guaranteed until the points are calculated after the final event. We got some last chance qualifiers. We've had a few of those events already, a couple of them last weekend. We'll look at those here in a second. There's one last chance qualifying event in each region. All you have to do is be the top finishing non-qualified KDJ member, and you can slide right into that. And then my favorite way somebody gets in, the FRizz Rocker clause, named after Bruce Clanton, FRizz Rocker. It's FRizz Week. What a great dude. Bruce played a gazillion billion events and didn't have enough points to get in, so we didn't feel like that was fair. So the next year we adopted the FRizz Rocker clause. All right, so here's a look at the people who qualified in via last chance qualifier. You can see Hayes, we let a lot of people in. Got a lot of people in 180 player field. A lot of names that I know, a lot of names that are new to me. So we welcomed in Daniel Beatrice, Jamie Fisher, Justin, Katie, Wisby, Mitch Brown, Nolan, Quentin Brown, Robert Carlson, Scott Ramser, Tim Cummings, and Vanessa Beatrice. So all those people get into the finals there in Salina. 2 weekends ago, we had the Flint Hills Open, and we let a few people slide in there as well. Mark Cooley, Matt Newton, Peter Boyd, Scott Heisey, and Trenton Juneman all qualified via that event. Once you qualify last chance qualifier, you are in regardless of what happens points-wise. Last weekend, we had a couple of doubles events that somehow qualified some people. Not really sure how all that worked, but we let Steven Sawyers in on the AM40 division, and that was Craig's event down there in Anthony and Attica, or Sheridan, Attica, excuse me. And at the long-running Halloween Glow event, we are a long ways from Halloween there, Mr. Newton, but we let in Adam Blything, Dennis Weaver, Jeff Updegrove, and Michael Mays. All right. So, what do you get if you qualify for the skins match? Well, first of all, it's November the 9th in Thomas Park, starting about 10 o'clock. You need to be there between 8 and 9:30 just to let us know that you're there. You go out in your divisions. Some divisions may change based on how many players are there. We'll try to combine divisions that can give you fair competition. We might have the AM women against the 60-year-old AM men, whatever we got to do to get a number of people in there. It's just a big skins match at $2 per person. Top third split. If we have less than a third of the people in the push for the skins, they split the money. You can see there, pros are paid PayPal, and amateurs receive merchandise. The biggest perk is if you play, not qualify, but play the Bob Decker rule, you get a free membership for the Oz Tour the following year. There's a little bit about the gang style skins. I already kind of blabbed about that enough. So I think it's time to bring in our guest. Hopefully he's ready. Let's add him in there. Russell, how's it going, dude?
It's going great. How's Smitty?
I'm good, man. As I was waiting here, I was trying to remember when the last time I actually saw you live and in the flesh was, and I couldn't do it.
I can't either. I thought the same thing. I was thinking the same thing. I have no idea. It's been a minute.
Yeah, I think I haven't played the FRizz in quite a while, and I know you always are back for that. I don't think you play any other Kansas events, really. Have you? I've been to the GBO or any of those for a while. Were you at Worlds 2 years
No.
ago?
2 years ago, no, I was not.
So as far back as I can remember, I think it was maybe the Four States Open.
Yeah.
And that was a long dang time ago.
It's a long time ago. Too long.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's new with you?
Oh man, just more and more disc golf. It seems like running 25 tournaments a year roughly, and it's still going great. Enjoying it still. FRizz is coming up. That's always it's it's more of a not serious event, but it's always exciting. Get to go see old friends, and I'm looking forward to that. What else is new? My daughter's 18, and that's pretty
gosh.
crazy. So
Yeah.
exactly. But
My
hey, she's
son
doing good.
and her,
She's
I didn't realize that my youngest son and your daughter were the same age, but yeah, it blows
Yep,
my
I
mind.
did. I remember that.
It's just crazy to think that they're basically adults. Heck, my son he graduated Marine Sniper School Saturday.
Oh wow.
Yeah, so it's
Wow.
unbelievable that little turd is
Not so
responsible.
little anymore, huh?
No, he's 6'3" and could probably pound a knot on my head, but I got that old man strength. So
that's right.
I was bragging to him a little bit about how you manufacture the monkey traps.
Yeah.
You still doing that?
Oh yeah, I got one over here in the corner, a buddy of mine, and then I've got a couple over here I'm putting together. So yeah, I'm still making them for sure.
And then multiple pinball machines there, it looked like.
Oh yeah, I've got I'm pretty, you know what, I turned that the wrong way. Let me see here. I'm gonna see if I can get this. Do you see that basket in the corner? The Donkey Kong? Yeah, I got an arcade. I'm a kid, man. And my daughter loves it, so it's a lot of fun. It's a hobby.
Do you just play the pinball machines, or do you try to fix them up and?
Well, that's kind of like all of them that I have. Every game that I have, I can think of, except for I have two games.
Uh-oh, we've lost Russ. Hopefully he can jump back in. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
We lost you for a second, or I did. I don't know if everybody else lost you.
Somebody called in, and I had to end. I just declined the call. Sorry about that.
What, you didn't tell him you were on Oz Talk, Russ?
Oh,
somebody's bothering you?
the person who's calling me should know. And I told him I was going to be doing this, but he's also 17 years old and he doesn't listen. So
Well, that I can understand.
shout
Well,
out
I
to
tell you,
Ian.
before we go too much farther, we start every one of these shows with our new guests the same way.
All right.
We call it Three from the Tee. I say we because normally Ronnie Unruh is here with me, but
I see.
he's busy bowling. So
Oh,
Three from the Tee. We ask every guest the same three questions, and we get some great discussion going from that. So I'm excited to hear these.
all right.
Here's number one. Do you remember your first golf disc, and do you still have it?
Oh, absolutely. I remember it. I'm going to tell you a little story that it brings back an awesome memory. The guy who taught me how to play was Ernie Valdez. They call him the Neto Man. He's from California. And how I even got into disc golf was I looked in the back of his truck. He was working for my parents, and I saw probably 100, frisbees as I thought they were. Oh no, they're disc, Russ. But I asked him about them, and he's, oh, you got to come. I'll show you. There's no disc golf baskets or anything in my little small town of Page, Arizona. But he's like, oh man, let's go to the park and I'll show you. And he said, see that trash can over there? It's 300 feet away, and he throws it, lands right by it. I'm like, okay, that was the coolest thing ever to me. And I'm like, man, this is too cool. And he goes, well, he gave me an XD. And I remember it was like kind of a yellowish green DXXD. That was my first disc, and yeah, that's what I got started with. And we'd go out there, and of course he gave me a couple drivers and stuff, but the XD is the one that it was my first main disc.
Long gone by now?
Long gone. Long gone. I threw it till it broke.
Yeah. You know who maybe the biggest XD fan in the world is? You know this person quite well.
I don't think here. Is he a Kansas person?
Yeah.
Bill Paulson?
Dennis Voschholz.
Dennis, huh? It was Dennis, huh? Okay.
Yeah, Dennis still putts with an XD.
Wow, I did not know that. That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So if you still have that old crusty green one, you may have to watch it because Dennis may try to get it.
Now that you told me that, I got a couple that he might be interested in. I just might take him a Christmas present or something.
There you go. You could get in his good graces for sure.
That's right.
So, well, I was kind of hoping you'd say it was that old overstable Spirit that you used to throw.
No, not that. That's for sure. That's long after I moved from Arizona. So,
man, you used to throw that thing on this much anhyzer, and it would.
You remember that?
Yes, I remember that. It was the craziest thing ever. You were good at it, though. You had it dialed and tuned in. And
I remember playing Jay Reddy the first time, and I threw that shot. He's like, what did you just do? And that was kind of a compliment because, he's played everywhere and with everybody, it seems like. And that was a pretty cool compliment.
Yeah. You don't have any of those laying around still, do you?
I may or may not. I don't know. I've got a couple boxes underneath the table, but who knows what's in there.
Yeah, that was always fun. Okay, number 2. Who's your dream card? Who's your dream fivesome that you would play with? These people can be alive, dead. You may know them. You may just wish to know them.
Oh, wow.
They don't even have to be disc golfers.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Man, my mentor, the guy who taught me how to play, Ernie Valdez, we lost him 2 years ago. Man, the thing about Ernie, and I hope that his kids will see this because one of them was the one who contacted me when he passed, but it didn't matter if he was having the great round or a terrible round, you're going to have fun. And that's what really, I think, drew it to me. I mean, I could tell you story after story of these funny things that he just continued to do. And he wasn't the best disc golfer. He really wasn't. But it didn't matter. He knew how to have fun, and he just spread the love and the joy of the game. And so I definitely would like him. And, Chuck Van Kempen, he also passed. I don't want to make this sad, but I mean, it's just this guy kind of, it was a freak thing, how he met, he's a truck driver. And next thing I know, he's he's given me, all these pointers and telling me all this stuff about the back in the old days, which is kind of cool because even though they didn't know each other, I bet you at some point they probably crossed. And he left me a box of discs, and it was pretty cool. He said, "When I'm gone, these discs belong to my friend Disc Golf Monkey Russ Burns." He put the phone number on there, and I still have a patent pending arrow. And if you ask anybody, for the last 3 years, I carry that, and I use it all the time. It's like a bread and butter type. As far as it's going to sound funny, but I've got to put Madison on there because Maddie. That's part of the reason I continue to go back to the FRizz is because I've played so many rounds with him. I just enjoy it. Friends. It's going to be hard because there's a lot of friends that I'm not going to mention, but I just, boy, I'm gonna have a hard time in the last two because, it's more about the friendships than getting to play with somebody that's, famous or that doesn't mean a lot to me really. But I don't know the last two, Smitty. It's tough.
You only got one more. You've named three. You're four, so you got one more.
Okay.
You got them. So we'll make it even harder on you, Russell.
What's that?
We'll
you
just
make it harder?
Even harder on you, yeah.
Man, oh man, I'm telling you, this is gonna be. I'm gonna make a lot of people mad if I pick something. Man, I would probably I'd just do a raffle is what I'd do.
There you go.
I know how to raffle and pick somebody. Oh my goodness. Boy, I don't know, Smitty. You got me.
Let it stew for a minute. We'll come back to you after.
All right, that sounds good.
After three, and we'll see if maybe you have it narrowed down.
That sounds good.
And I think I know who this one might include or what it might include. What's your favorite disc golf memory?
Oh, favorite disc golf memory. Well, oh my, there's so many, but the first tournament that it has to be this one. The first disc golf tournament that Ernie took me to, we're from Page, Arizona. It's 135 miles north of Flagstaff. So you go straight down, and then all of a sudden you start going up into the mountains, and we're going to go to Scottsdale and to the it's not the Bob West Memorial, it's the Shelley Sharp Memorial, and went there, and man, it was snowing so crazy, and we're like, man, are we ever going to get out of the snow? I mean, it was dumb to travel there. Fresh snow, probably 8 inches. He's got a big truck, but we're like only going 20 miles an hour. And I'm thinking, gosh, if we lived through this, it'd be great. Of course, we come off the mountain, you're back in the valley, and then you're back in, oh man, you're burning up and everything. It's like, and we play this tournament, and I had to look it up because I didn't know that they were going to actually have, stats in there, but there was over 200 people at that tournament. And I remember what got me about this is they had all the Frisbee events. So they had the double disc court, and I thought that was, if you get 4 people that know what they're doing in double disc court, I don't think there's a better sport to watch. It's just so much fun. And I got to see that. And then the freestyle, I never had seen anybody freestyle. And the lady, and I shouldn't remember her name because she's a world champion freestyler, but I got to see her, and I'm like, gosh, I didn't know you could do that with a Frisbee, And then that whole experience of playing there at that the course there in Scottsdale, just palm trees and ponds, and it was just beautiful. That's one of my favorite. I would say that's one of my favorite memories. But I have a lot of them in disc golf. But that first event I still remember it. Of course, I was with Ernie, and that was just a great time. So
yeah, I figured Ernie would be tied into that.
Oh yeah,
sounds like, man, he is really influential and
yes, he was
everything disc golf for you. That's cool, man. That's cool. That's somebody take you under your wing like that.
You know who Dan Dan Ginley, right?
Yeah, I know of Dan Ginley.
Yeah, so I met him. He was when we went before the tournament, we went to meet him, and he was pushing around. This is to tell you how long ago it was. He was pushing out one of his kids in a stroller, and he had 3 discs, and we went and played Shelley Sharp Memorial. And I'm pretty sure, if memory serves, he shot 13 down with 3 discs. And I'm like, what in the world? Who is this guy? And then I see him years later in Kansas City at the I'm not sure if it's the Wide Open of the Worlds that they had, but I asked him. I said, "Well, are you carrying more to 3 discs?" He goes, "Oh, well, I had to add one. I'm carrying 4 because this is a pretty tough course." He's at one of the old course at Kansas City. I'm like, "Are you 4 discs?" And he won. So,
wow.
But Ernie introduced him to me, and at the time he was the president of the Arizona Disc Golf Club, and Ernie actually did the artwork for that. And I still have an old X clone with the original with that stamp on, brand new. And so thought that was
That's
pretty.
cool.
Yeah.
That's super cool. So the X Clone was your coming out at your first tournament.
No,
Is that what you,
it was.
right?
No,
So
that was the first the X clone was when that was the when he drew
oh, okay.
Ernie drew the artwork for it, and so
All
I
right.
saw. So I mean that was in the 90s. I can't
Yeah,
remember
that's like
when.
98
Se-
area.
I think that I think the stamp says 97, but
Yeah,
somewhere around there. We're pretty close.
I remember the X Clone came out. It was like the first disc that you could actually just like really flip because it had that strange lip with seemed like more weight in the outer. Yeah, I remember it. I remember it well.
Oh yeah.
So, well, you're now the TD of the FRizz, which is a historical Kansas tournament that when I was first starting to play disc golf, the FRizz was like what you heard about all the time. And that's because Harv was at every tournament and he would always end it with, come to Winfield. So as a young disc golfer, not knowing anybody, just showing up, Harv's kind of like my Ernie, I guess. Harv was just like, I didn't think there was a person cooler than Harvey Barger possible in the disc golf world. There's a lot of cool people, and Harvey's up there with cool people.
Oh yeah.
Kind of the same thing. So how did it all come about? How did you and Harv decide?
I'm glad you asked that because I think a lot of people wonder. This will be the 8th year running, and I had to look back and I think it's 2018, and I had to look at the stamp. But I remember that year, the 2017, he was right before he does the awards. You know how he is, and he's just ready gung ho. Well, I was out by my trailer, and I walked out. He walked out, and he said, "Hey." He goes, how would you like to make this the Russ Burns show? And I said, no. And I said, I'll never be the Russ Burns show. I'll always be the Harv show, but I'll definitely run it for you. And he's like, all right. He literally walks right back in there and says, I have an announcement to make. And then he goes and says, okay, next year, and that's how it started, and that's how it came about.
That's probably a big weight off of Harv's shoulders because so many years, you would get there and the tournament would get over and you would be waiting and waiting and waiting and waiting for Harv to come back and do the payout. Because I'm guessing he was probably still using the same old methods that we always use. Add up all the scorecards, do the math in your head, get that stupid spreadsheet that had the percentages on there, punch it in.
You're gonna laugh. We still do it just because it's the hard way. But I think we're a little bit quicker at it. But in '96 is when I've been going there since '96. Somebody said, "Hey, you need to go to the FRizz," and I'm like, "What's the FRizz?" And they're like, "It's Winfield, Kansas." I had no idea where Winfield, Kansas was. Get out the old map. There wasn't, but it was just it's just an experience. It's fun. It's met so many people over the years there, and I think Harvey's quote was, I'm tired. I'm just tired, and so, I get it. I can't imagine for running it for however many years he did.
Yeah, and just the way disc golf has changed too. When Harv first ran the thing way back in the '90s, if you won advanced, you got a bag of discs. Here you go.
Yeah, and I did. Yeah, absolutely.
You don't do that anymore, do you?
No. They get a voucher and they can go through the trailer, and I've got a little bit better selection than back then.
They would come after you with pitchforks and fire if you tried to do that.
That's one thing I've never heard anybody complain about was my payouts. That's for sure. So that's cool.
So well, that's cool. I was wondering how that all came about, and it seems like it was a smooth transition. Harv was ready to get done, and you didn't want to see the event die, and that's
exactly it. And that's why I did it. It doesn't. I mean, it's a 4.5 hour drive, so it's not exactly. Like I don't really like driving that far away, but I just enjoyed it for that many years. I almost felt like I owed something back, and here I am, and I do my best every time. I really enjoy the event.
And where do you see it going in the future? Do you see following the same kind of format, doing it all old school? Do you see implementing UDisc at any time and keeping scores that way?
That has been brought up by multiple people, and I, as we know, it helps the TD tremendously. But since you have the 4 rounds and everything, and you have a lot of time to do those things, it's really just the last getting the cards in that speeds it up, because we already have the payout sheets ready, and all that, and we just fill in names. So, but I think at some point, yes, it will. And where it's going, it's because I don't live there. I think I've leaned heavily on some of the locals, and there's actually three girls have helped me tremendously, and it's just without them, it's Dylan, Jana, and Nicole, and without them, the last, I think it's 4 years, they've went and got a lot of money in sponsors. This year they had some things going on, we didn't get nearly as much, but I still got disc for it, and we still got shirts coming in. I'm not, just because we don't have it, as long as I'm willing to do it, then I'll cover it. But if it would be good to get other help as well, from local. But it's like I said, I'm not there, so it's really hard for me to go knock on doors, make phone calls. Who are you? And, oh, you live in Missouri. That's not the easiest thing to do, and not everybody likes to ask for money. It's hard to do. But I'm hoping that we can get back on board and get some more people that are like me, that love the game, and then the not the game, but the tournament itself, and say, hey, you know what, I want to help out. So hopefully some people will hear this, and maybe they'll help in some way.
Well, and that Winfield crew there's a lot of good dudes in that crew.
Oh
When
yeah.
I lived there for whatever it was, 6 or 8 years, you got Sean Mann. Sean's going to,
Oh,
if you need something done, Sean's going to get it done for you.
well, just like this year, Shanman and Bobo, all those guys, they're right there doing it. I don't have to call and ask them, hey, is the course ready? I still, I called, I think, Shan, a week ago or something like that, and he's like, oh yeah, we're gonna get it done. It'll be ready, And I mean, that's how they are. I don't have. That's one thing I never have to worry about, is like going in. Oh, there's no course. Oh shoot, I don't have to worry about that. They're gonna make it. That's one thing. They all come together to make sure that the courses are fun and enjoyable. So.
Yep. And I haven't been in so long. Do you still do two at the Grove, one north of Ninth type deal?
No, we only, is the last couple of years, has just been two courses. So we always play the north, and that's usually the shorter of them. And then the Winfield crew do the other side, where they kind of combine the two groves into a little bit longer course. So.
Man, there's been some fun FRizz layouts. That Daniels course is still one of my favorite courses
Oh, how
ever.
can
When
you
they
not
load
love?
all those crop circles and everything.
Oh yeah, absolutely,
That was
absolutely.
that was always a treat, because that was literally a mile from my house basically too. So come
What?
October, that's where you'd find me when I lived in Winfield.
Well, when did you start playing disc golf? I'm curious.
I started in, well, I was first introduced to disc golf in '93, but I just had one or two discs, and kind of, just after cross country or track practice, we'd go out there and chill because it was free and we were all
Oh yeah.
either poor or tightwads. And then in 96, no, 97, I took my first job and we went away to a state track meet in this little bitty tiny town, 350 people. And we came back from state track and we had a disc golf course in our park. I drove in, I'm like, what in the heck is this? So I still
Ah.
had my little stack of lightning discs. They were all lightning.
Oh yeah.
And that pretty much was the end of all other hobbies, and disc golf, just every day after work, I'd be out there in the park. I was the only idiot in the whole town playing. These people thought I was such a weirdo.
Oh, that's funny. Well, 96 and 97, the reason I asked you that, I think 96, 97, and 98, they had the What a Hole on where you throw across,
I've heard
the
of it.
the walnut. And man, that's why I was wondering, because you said the Daniel course, that course, with the What a Hole, that was just insane. Because I mean, where else can you get to throw across a little river and take a little barge across, and
The
come on.
melon.
The melon. I have the disc. I have an aviar with the melon stamp on it.
Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah, my first FRizz year was '01. The Twin Towers years
Oh yeah.
was the first year I went, and man, I wish I still had some of those discs. I had like CE Firebird with that little Twin Tower stamp on it, which
Uh-huh.
I threw the P out of. But
I,
yeah,
I still have a JK Valkyrie that when they did that in the CE plastic, and I have that, and then I have a mini with that on there. Do you remember the eagle sharpening his
yep,
talons? Yeah, I got
yep,
that. I got one of those too.
yeah.
They're kind of fun.
There was a lot of cool stamps, and
Oh yeah.
you and I both know that getting a stamp, getting it off to the manufacturers, and getting it back, that all takes time. And
Oh yeah. Oh, I wish.
September the 11th to October whatever it was on that year. It's
Yeah.
always a second. That is
Yeah.
not
Super
very
quick,
long.
and he did
And
it.
yeah, well, for Harv to get up and do something that quick is really amazing.
Yeah,
So
I'm pretty impressed with it myself when you think about it, for sure.
yeah, because the turnaround time is usually 2 or 3 weeks now. I don't know what it
Yeah,
was then.
probably closer to 4, but I'm sure they pulled it. He pulled a string or two, or somebody had pulled a string or two. But yeah, that's awesome to think about that.
So, well, I thought Harv might jump in by now. Well, he may have forgot, or maybe he fell asleep, or maybe the Chiefs are tied up. I don't know what's going on there.
Right,
But I
right.
think Harv's a Cowboy guy, so he probably hates the Chiefs. So, well, let's shift gears a little bit until maybe Harv comes in. Um, I'm pretty sure 2 years ago, maybe, or maybe three, did you get inducted into the Missouri Disc Golf Hall of Fame? Is that
Yeah,
true or not?
2021 is when they put me in there. Funny story about that. They 19, I think, is when they first asked me the first time to. It was kind of funny. I got a couple emails, and it just looked like, it honestly looked like spam type stuff. Hey, Hall of Fame, Russ Burns. I'm like, yeah, whatever. And I literally didn't like. I think he sent me three. It was Tom. I think he sent me three emails. He's like, dude, you're hard to get a hold of. I'm not really. Just call me, and because I answered the phone, he called me. He goes, well, I've sent you three emails, and I was requesting, you've been nominated by Dave McCormick for the Missouri Disc Golf Hall of Fame. I'm like, oh, shoot, I've seen those, but I just honestly thought some kind of silliness. So anyway, then, yeah, that was pretty wild. And then it is kind of funny. They said, I remember him saying, you have a really good resume, but we're going to take a couple other people that a little bit older. And I'm like, hey, but I thought that was just cool to even be mentioned in the same, boat. I mean, the class was incredible. For me personally, I got in with George Smith and the Who Man. I mean,
Oh
goodness
wow.
gracious. I mean, when I came to Springfield and first time I watched both those guys play, it's like, I want to play like them. I mean,
Yeah.
watching the Who Man throw a rock farther than I can throw a driver, I'm like, what in the world, And then of course George is throwing what he called the the crayon Firebirds, the DX Firebirds, and throwing them a mile. Heck, when I throw them, they're just breaking right out of my hand. I'm like,
Sharp left.
yeah, but to be in that same class was, and there's two others that were great too. But those two, I mean, I actually knew real well, and man, that was definitely an honor for sure.
Yeah, well, those two were at the first Emporia Open that I ever traveled across the state to watch. Those two and Eric and Kevin Babbitt were playing in the final nine.
Oh,
So
what a final nine! Who
for
won?
my first one ever.
Yeah,
Yeah, who do you think won? LeBron. He won the Emporia Open or Emporia events like
yeah.
oh, so many years. So
Oh yeah,
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 super cool.
yeah. Very
Super
cool.
cool. So How many monkey trap courses are there? Surely you have the number, don't you?
Oh my gosh. I'm a bum. I really don't have an exact number. One time I tried to figure it out. I think it's close to 70, but it's hard to, when I first started doing it, I really didn't think it was something I was going to continue doing. I thought it was like, oh, this is cool. And the next thing I know, I'm like, oh man, I'm really doing this. And it's the same thing with when they asked me the questions for the Hall of Fame stuff, how many tournaments have you played in? How many tournaments have you ran? And I had no idea because that's not a thing. That wasn't really a thing that I thought about. But I do know now. I mean, I think it just now, I just played my 350th PDJ event, and I have over 250 events that I've ran, which is pretty insane. So it's been awesome for sure.
Yeah.
Humbling that people keep coming back and, hey, we appreciate what you're doing. That means a lot.
Yeah, that's great. And you're still bending them all by yourself, rolling
Oh
out
yeah.
the
Oh yeah.
rings.
I still have the old Popeye muscle. It's definitely done by hand. So yeah.
And do
Now
you weld them, or do you have a?
I don't weld and I don't powder coat that. But I will tell you a funny story about, even the rings I used to make by hand. And I had a buddy named Eddie Ullman, and he's a freak. He can do anything, make anything. He's like, I can make you a ring roller. And I'm like, well, that'd be great because it takes me about 120 pulls to make a ring. And he's like, oh, well, yeah, we can do so. Well, 3 years later, he finally does. And I have a ring roller. That's the coolest thing in the world. And literally set it up, it rolls it, and I just push a foot pedal and I'm done. It's like, where have you been? Why did you not 3 years ago? It would have saved me a lot of, muscle and sweat and tears. But
And
yeah,
still
it's got me.
using it.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
That's cool. That's cool. And do you run? You said you ran 25 events this year. You're going to run 25.
Yeah, it'll be exactly 25. It might be so. I can't remember. I think there's 22 PDJ events, and then I have several schools that I work through every year that we do tournaments for. So, 3 different schools, all local, and it's just a lot of fun. We just go and have a good time. Usually, they play 2 rounds on their course. We just had one not too long ago. It was just a blast with watching the kids run through it. And one kid, I posted on my Facebook page. The kid he hit an ace. Him and his partner won doubles, and he won. I gave everybody a raffle ticket for a basket just to give it away, and he won that. And so it's like,
It's a
what
pretty
was
big
awesome.
day.
Yeah, so he's a lifer. He'll be playing forever. But he took his winnings, which was a bag and a couple discs, and he gave it to a kid who wasn't one of the best players, basically. And I thought, okay, yeah, this kid's got it. And
Yeah.
that's what disc golf is. It's just
Yeah,
camaraderie.
absolutely. Well, I'm wearing my shirt. We
Oh
just
yeah.
had our junior championships this last weekend, and last year, the year before, we started kind of asking for sponsorships. If anybody might want to sponsor a kid or whatever, a kid that couldn't get there. Well, this year, coming into the event, we had 55 paid spots.
Holy moly.
Yeah. So we ended up having 45 kids. Some of them weren't PDJ members. So I don't think PDJ didn't charge me a fee for kids, but we bought the paint to pay the court. Anyhow, 45 kids came and played for free. If they signed up early enough, they got a tie-dye shirt or a solid color shirt if they wanted it. Dennis and Lindy stamped up some discs. We had a whole stack of Millennium discs. Schwakey hooked us up with a pile of its. I gave them all a course stamp disc, the Millbrook course stamp disc. So they all got a shirt and 3 discs to start out.
Wow.
My assistant TD Hudson Casper, 10-year-old world champ, he rounded up enough raffle prizes that at lunch we gave every kid another prize for the raffle. It was incredible, man. And dude, those kids shredded that place.
That's awesome.
I went out and watched the last round, and this kid named Gabe, he ended up winning 18 MA 18 or MJ 18, whatever it is. He was inches away from acing a 400-foot hole.
Oh, wow.
And shot his first ever 1,000 rated round at the event, 10-10. They're just all ridiculous. It was fun. So, yeah, I mean, those junior tournaments they're fun. They're good stuff.
Yeah, I got to the Junior Worlds last year was in Tulsa, and they asked me to be a TD, and I'm like, well, heck yeah. And I got to do it over at Twin Bridges. And man, that was one of the best times I've ever had, getting to watch them, because I mean they're just amazing at that age. I'm like, man, I wish I would have known about it. And I met Rebecca Dawn, who's on tour, and she's just killing it. And what is she, 16, I think?
Yep.
And she's just playing, with all the big girls. It's just awesome to see. But hey, next year I'm in on sponsoring something. Let me know. And we've raised, part of the reason I think they put me in the Hall of Fame is because of the edge thing. Where I think we're, I don't know, somewhere around 42,000 that we've raised in the last 17 years or however long it's been. So. Pretty proud of that too. So yeah, got to get the kids going.
That is killer. So, well, I don't think we're gonna get Harv.
Darn it!
So
I was hoping he'd get on here. Yeah,
me too. He probably forgot. So, you got anything else for us?
No, just if you're in Kansas, come see us at the FRizz. They're starting out. I won't be there till Thursday. They're starting Wednesday like they always do. I don't know how they stay that long, but I'll be there Thursday afternoon like always, and I'll be rolling in. So
they'll be doing team events starting tomorrow.
That's right.
Or starting Wednesday.
Wednesday, yep. Exactly. I got a tournament coming up. The Tom Wolfe and Monette is my next event toward the end of this month, and but then I just have, I think I only have, after the FRizz, I only have 5 more. That's I'll tell you, I'm sorry, this will be the 6th tournament I've had in a row, all back-to-back weekends. I had 2 of those, the smaller non-sanctioned ones, but it's been a lot. Remember you said something about those stamps and try to get them all in time. I know a lot about that.
Yeah,
it's not easy. It's not easy.
Yeah, I've got a heck of a end of my season. I think I'm going to play you heard me talking about those Oz Tour events.
Yeah.
I think I'm playing all of them all the way out. I'm currently having most points, and I want to win that cup because I'm 53 years old, and I don't know how many more chances I'll get to win that sucker. So.
Oh yeah, I think I have this right here. We gave away. There's one of my main sponsors is Patriots Gold and Silver, and his name's Jeff Ford, but he basically buys and sells silver. And one year he did baskets made of silver, and this is a silver coin that he did, and it says the DGM points champion on the back and all that. But that's solid silver. It's pretty heavy, but that's what we. So those are always. There's always maybe a basket or a bag, and for the first place. But then get these. I mean, this is cool. Something that's just rare.
You're not going to get that everywhere.
No, you're not. Definitely not. This one says DGM Champ 24. So I was like you. I played it as hard as I could last year. I actually got to practice more, and heck, had a fun year. But what you're doing with that canister, that's awesome. It really is.
Yeah, the whole Oz Tour thing. I mean, Harv obviously got it up and going. Him and a crew of dudes, and there's not a lot of states, I don't think, that have a statewide tour. And we say we're statewide. We don't get to Topeka or Emporia, or we don't get much of the eastern half of the state, but a lot of that's because they have so many other options going on.
Sure. I get that.
Yep. So,
well, thanks for having me on here. This is great. That was a lot of fun.
Yeah, dude. I might sneak down to Winfield one evening and see what's going on.
You owe me. I'm here, so you owe me at least a high five or something.
Yeah, I can't play, but I might sneak down there and
That's all right.
see
Yeah,
what's up.
that's
So
awesome. Well, Bill Paulson said the same thing. I guess he hurt his hip, but he said he'd come see me. So
yeah, I just saw him. He brought two of his grandsons this last weekend. And he told me that he was playing and threw and hurt his hip pop, and he had to call it a day.
yeah,
Somebody's commenting. It might be Bill. Nope, it was Anson. So,
okay,
all right, dude.
all
Well, I
right.
appreciate it, Russ.
Hey,
Good
you
luck
bet.
with the Frizz. I hope things go well.
All right, thank you, and you take care. All the
Later,
best.
man.
Don't forget. I will sponsor that next year.
Hey, we've already got you marked down.
All right, we'll see
All
ya.
right, later, dude.
Bye.